Most live streams are forgettable. A security feed left open by mistake, a late-night webcam with no viewers, a static shot of some empty place no one has reason to watch. But every so often, a stream appears that feels wrong from the moment it loads. Not because anything obvious is happening, because it feels like the camera is waiting for something. And once someone notices what that something is, the disturbing part is usually realizing the event was never meant to be public. It was only meant to be witnessed. A freelance moderator reviewing flagged links found a live stream buried inside an abandoned hospital forum. The stream had no description and no associated account. It showed a small medical waiting room under fluorescent lights, plastic chairs, a water cooler, a television mounted high in the corner with no sound. At first, nothing about it seemed unusual. The room was empty. The clock on the wall moved normally. The viewer count stayed at 1. But every few minutes, the camera would shift slightly, as if someone just outside the frame had adjusted the tripod. He assumed it was an unsecured internal feed until a woman entered the room and sat down. She looked tired, ordinary, completely unaware she was on camera. A minute later, a man in a dark jacket walked in and sat across from her. Neither of them spoke. Neither checked in at reception. They just sat there, facing forward, as if waiting for someone to call their names. Then, without warning, the television in the corner turned on. The screen displayed the live feed. They were already sitting inside. The moderator kept watching. In the television image, the woman stood up 3 seconds before the real woman did. Then the man followed, again slightly delayed. It was the same room, predicting their movements a few seconds early. When the moderator went back through the site's source code, he found an old hospital name attached to the stream. The building had been demolished 6 years earlier. He tried recording the feed. That was when the viewer count changed. It rose from 1 to 2. Then, on the stream, both people turned at the exact same moment and looked directly into the camera. Not at each other, not at the door, at him. And on the television in the room, a third chair that had been empty all night was suddenly occupied by someone sitting in the same posture as the moderator at his desk. The moderator shut down his computer and contacted the hosting provider. By morning, the forum was gone. The stream URL led nowhere. The recorded file on his hard drive had corrupted beyond repair. Only a single thumbnail remained. It showed the waiting room empty again, except for one detail. On the wall behind the reception window, someone had taped a printed sign. Please remain seated until you recognize yourself. A university student browsing obscure video directories found a channel that streamed only one thing: an elevator interior. No title, no archive, no audio. The elevator looked old but functional. Stainless steel walls, yellowing floor indicator, security camera angle from the upper corner. The strange part was that the floor display never changed. It always showed B2. The doors would open from time to time, but no one ever entered. After nearly 20 minutes, a person finally appeared. A janitor pushed a cleaning cart into the elevator and pressed no button at all. He simply stood there, facing the closed doors. The floor indicator remained on B2. Then the student noticed something smaller. Reflected in the steel panel behind the janitor was another person. Someone not physically present inside the elevator. He rewound out of habit before realizing the channel offered no playback. It was live only. When the doors opened again, the hallway outside was different. No longer concrete. Now it looked carpeted, like an office corridor. Then, on the next opening, it became a residential hallway lined with framed pictures. The elevator was not moving. The indicator still read B2, but each time the doors opened, it was arriving somewhere else. The student posted the link in a private group chat. No one else could open it. To everyone else, the page was blank. Then one friend sent a screenshot from a different device. The elevator was the same, but the hallway outside the open doors was not. It was the student's own dorm corridor, and standing at the far end was someone looking directly toward the camera. Campus security checked the building the next morning. There was no basement level 2. There had never been one. The student deleted the link and shut the laptop. 2 nights later, someone slipped a photocopied image under his dorm door. It was a still frame from the stream. The elevator doors were open. The camera was empty, and the floor indicator, for the first time, read his room number. An independent translator working late found a live stream embedded in a nearly abandoned discussion board. The feed showed a rooftop at night, no city skyline, no clear landmarks, just a flat roof under weak industrial lights and rows of folding chairs facing the edge. At first, it looked like someone preparing for a small event, but no one ever arrived. The chairs remained empty for nearly an hour, and yet the viewer count kept slowly increasing. Eventually, people did appear, not from a stairwell or a door. They were simply there between frames, one chair occupied, then another. Each seated figure wore dark clothing and faced the edge of the roof. No one moved. No one looked at the camera. It felt less like a gathering than an audience waiting for something to begin. Then, one final chair remained empty in the front row. The translator watched for several more minutes, expecting another figure to appear. Instead, the discussion thread beneath the stream updated with a single new post, reserved for current viewer. A second post appeared right after it. Please remain connected until seating is complete. That was when the translator noticed a reflection in the black part of the monitor. Behind the desk, his apartment door was open. He muted the computer and stood up. On the stream, the empty chair in the front row filled. The seated figure was seen only from behind, but the posture matched his exactly. The same narrow shoulders, the same slight forward lean. Then every person on the rooftop rose at the same time and stepped toward the edge. Only the front row figure remained seated, still facing outward, still watching whatever the others had come to see. The board went offline before sunrise. No archive of the feed could be found. Weeks later, the translator was still trying to identify the rooftop when a package arrived with no return address. Inside was a printed audience seating chart. Every seat was marked occupied, except one. Beside it, typed neatly in black ink, were 2 words: connection lost. Most disturbing live streams are not disturbing because of what they show immediately. They are disturbing because they feel incomplete, as though the viewer has opened the feed too early and is now waiting for the moment they were always meant to see. A hospital room that knows who is watching, an elevator that opens somewhere it should not, a rooftop audience holding one seat in reserve. And maybe that is what makes certain streams feel wrong from the beginning. Not that they are broadcasting something terrible, that they are waiting for one more viewer before it starts.